Well, I think we've already heard that the ancestral land issue has taken some centre stage at the land conference this week, and I think it has become clear that it can't be brushed under the carpet, and there will have to be a full discussion, and that's taking place at the moment in the group discussions at the conference. It is a very complex and difficult and also painful issue for many people, so it has to be handled very sensitively. So it's important that the discussions, I think, look at what can happen in practical and legal terms, as well as the actual issue of restorative justice or restitution. My sort of feeling, and I think others have suggested it, is that we move towards some kind of commission or committee that will take up the issue after the land conference and will look in detail at the kind of impact this would have, the issue of different claims and counterclaims, and also what's happened in other countries, because it is possible, it has been possible in South Africa to have ancestral land claims. So we need to look at those kind of examples and see what might be possible in Namibia. I think a second issue, which I think is slightly troubling because I don't think it's been assessed properly, is the resettlement policy and the resettlement scheme. From the outside and from the little research that we've seen on this, it's been mostly a failure over the years, and certainly a failure in terms of lifting people out of poverty. So if you look at the resettlement list that was released at the end of last week, you see a lot of people on there. We know who they are: deputy ministers and permanent secretaries and senior officials who probably should be applying for loans under the Affirmative Action Loan Scheme and not utilising the resettlement project. So it's clearly lost focus, and maybe it hasn't been properly guided with the necessary regulations. So I think as a result of that, we need to review the whole resettlement project, possibly even scrap it and come up with something new. And actually, it is one possibility that this could be used also in terms of the ancestral issue. You know, that you could. It also has been suggested by some speakers that ancestral claims could also be somehow incorporated into the resettlement policy, so that resettlement is used in some ways to restore people to the areas they see as being theirs, as being theirs before the colonial period. So there's a lot of issues. I think one of the issues that concerns us as a think tank, IPPR, is the gaps in terms of research, information and data that are at the land conference. We haven't done enough research and studies in advance of the land conference really to be in a position to make informed decisions on a lot of issues, and also that research should have been independent. So you can't have the Ministry of Lands reviewing itself, because they will automatically defend their record. They can do that at the conference, but you need independent researchers, academics to look at what has happened and I think they will give a more honest account. And once we've diagnosed the issue in that way, the problem, then we can move to what the solutions might be.